Okay, so here we are back again for the fourth episode in a series of podcasts. This is all about my friend's sailing journey, the voyage of the Malaga. Going to get John on the phone here in a couple minutes, John Babeau on the phone here in a couple minutes. They've made their way to the Balearic Islands, currently on the island of Mallorca. I believe it's the port city is Palma. So when we pick back up here at the end, we'll have John on and we'll chat a little bit. I'll kind of bring you up to date on how things have gone so far. I've got kind of a cool little thing here I'm going to show you, though. I'm going to get myself out of the way. I'll play this video clip. Give me a second here to do this. Okay, so here we go. Nice. Play that again. I think that's really cool. Nice. All right, so that's what it looks like on the boat. Let me put myself back in the picture, and I'm going to change my scene here just a minute. Give me a second to do that. And I'm going to go to the route map. And so let me move again. Get myself out of the way. So what I have up here now is the route map. And I'm getting this off a website called No Foreign Lands. It's set up so that the voyage is being tracked and then posted to a website, this website in particular. Put on my glasses so I can see a little bit better. I'm looking at this myself. I'm looking at it on a large screen monitor here in my living room. So I need to be able to see a little bit better so I can guide you around the route. But you see the mouse pointer. They basically started here in La Rochelle, France, sailed across the Bay of Biscay to A Coruña, Spain, down the coast of Portugal to Lisbon, on down from Lisbon through the Straits of Gibraltar. That's Gibraltar right there. And on into Malaga, Spain, which that was the point of our last podcast. Since then, they have progressed from Malaga, Spain, to their current location, which, let me move this around a little bit, which is right here on the island of Mallorca. Which is one of the Balearic Islands. And they are currently in the marina at Palma. Continue to blow that up a little bit. So we can see where they're berthed here in the marina. I just talked to John a little bit earlier. Kind of got an update on how things are going, what they're doing. They're out riding scooters around in the town of Palma today. And so when I get him on the phone here in a couple of minutes, we'll get a rundown on how that went and how things have gone this far. So I'm going to call it quits from here. I want to keep this brief. When I come back, I'll have John on the phone. Okay, so here we are back, and I've got John on the phone, and I've got pictures of Hell's Angels Jr. in the background here. Let me kind of get myself out of the way. John can talk about that a little bit. Looks like you got the blue one, John.
Okay, well, in my defense, I will say we were going to
Defense.
rent some. Yeah, we were going to rent some Ducatis, and they were fresh out.
Well,
So that was the.
I got a picture of that dealer apparently where you rented. I'm gonna put that up. Vintage Motors or something like that was the name of it. It shows a
Yeah, they have.
picture of the garage.
Yeah, it's a real small place. They have one really nice BMW that they won't rent. They have several Ducatis that were already rented,
Uh huh.
um, and a few Harleys and Moto Guzzi's, and then a bunch of Vespas.
Oh, I see your
Well,
blue Vespa waiting there for you, and the
yeah,
lineup of bikes. They
I
put.
got to tell you,
Uh
but
huh.
going through the small streets, so yeah, this town, Palma, it's actually it's totally amazing. It has one of the largest marinas in the Med,
Uh huh.
which really is one of the largest in the world, and I would put it up against. I mean, they got huge 100-ton cranes and lifts for these super yachts. I don't know if one of the guys might have posted on one of their Facebook pages some of these super yachts that
Oh yeah, I
are
saw
parked.
that. Yeah, I saw that super yacht. Look, you guys are kind of docked fairly close to it. It looked like.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're a stone's throw from it, but it just absolutely enormous, um, boats. I'd say multi-million, but they're in the, 80 to $100 million range. Just huge, huge boats. So it's very, very large marina.
Uh huh.
The one we're in has over 1,000 boats in it. It was
Oh
hard to get to
wow.
when we came in. They said, yeah, just in Spanish, go to the orange fuel pumps, and here we are, uh, and there's slip after slip, quay after quay as
Yeah,
we're
I've
coming
got a
in.
picture up in the background of that marina, the view off no foreign land. So it's just a map view of it.
Yeah, yeah, and we started pulling in we started getting deep into this marina, and I have Jorge and David out on the bow, and they're looking for an orange fuel dock,
Uh huh.
and um, my depth gauge is saying 4 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet. Now, if I have my depth gauge set for the depth underneath my keel,
Uh
so the
huh.
keel is the lowest port point of my boat, and it's about 7.1 feet deep. So when it says 2 feet, it's actually 9 feet. But I only have 2 feet left, and all of a sudden I look over and it said minus zero point zero 0.01, and I was like,
So the
well, that's not good.
boat needs 7 feet. Is that correct? Is that I'm hearing that
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in the mud. And I looked, it felt like I was moving, but when I looked towards land, it's like, I'm not moving. Put it in reverse. Still not moving. That's really not good. And
So you were
then some guy,
mired up
yeah, a little bit.
in the dirt or
It,
sand or bottom.
and it was mud. Um,
Okay.
Guy comes running out. Hey, it's too shallow here in Spanish. Like, no shit, thanks. I could have used that about 5 minutes ago. We put it in reverse hard, and we're able to get out of there. And I used bow thrusters to pivot me around. And anyway, we found the spot we're supposed to be over by the super yachts.
Okay. Now I got another cool picture that I found, John. I just put that up as the background. It's an aerial view. It was taken. It's a NASA photo that was taken from the International Space Station,
Hmm.
and you can see if you compare that map view that I have with this aerial view, you can see exactly where you guys are in this aerial view.
Oh, nice, nice.
I
I'll
mean,
have to.
it's not super high resolution, but certainly get the idea.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely want to see it. The
Oh yeah,
med
well
so
you
far has
will
been.
when you watch the podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the med's been it's been interesting so far. On the way here from Mallorca, I'm sorry, from Malaga,
Uh huh.
uh, we decided because the wind was leading. We want to use the wind as much as possible to get as much speed as possible towards our point without having to tack too many times. Because as we're tacking, unfortunately, the wind was blowing
Uh huh.
straight at us in the direction we wanted to go. We ended up in the middle of the night, and I had the helm at the time to go in between the island of Ibiza and Formentera. which is they're part of the island chains of the Belarus Islands. Anyway, when you look at a map, it's like, oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I've got that map up here that shows, looks like there's a smaller island, and then there's a
That's right.
larger island north of that small island, and a channel between those two islands. So it looks like.
That's right. There is room, but there's land masses there. So when you get right up to it, you don't really have a lot of room in between the islands. So, and as we were coming up to the islands, the Med has some weird wave patterns.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times you get tides that are going in the opposite direction or 90 degrees to the wind, and the wind can change directions, and all of a sudden you get these cross seas and big waves. We had waves that were crashing into the side of us at times, and it was just really, really interesting. And as we got in between these islands, or we're approaching it, I realized, okay, there's not really a lot of room where it's deep, and
Uh-huh.
I have this, I can see this boat coming on the radar, and AIS is a transponder that all commercial vessels have to have, and it comes up on my radar and also my chart plotter, and I can just touch it, and it tells me all the information on the boat. It's like,
Uh-huh.
the boat was 345 feet, and it was doing 25 knots, and I'm thinking, well, what kind of boat goes 25 knots? It's that big.
Whoa.
And the info, it was they were just carrying people and cars, so it was a ferry, but it was like 3 a.m. and I'm thinking, why are ferries working from at this time?
Was it like a
So
hydrofoil or something to be going that fast on the water?
No, Joe, it wasn't. It was it was not, but it was just booking, and
Wow.
because I was thinking I was going to pass in front of it, and it was just as I was going through that narrow area. As a matter of fact, I doused the sails because I wanted to motor, because there was a southerly tide, and I was to make way to the point I wanted to make at. I was at 30 degrees to my starboard because the tide was pushing me so fast. So I just motored, and it's like, I'll just cruise through here, and here comes the ship, and just watching this thing go in front of me, it's just like, wow. It's, in the middle of the night, countries you don't know, waters you're not familiar with. Yeah, it was fun. It was exciting.
Is there any moonlight or anything like that, or are you in pitch darkness pretty much right now?
So, yeah, that was, oh boy, that was last night. And there was a lot of low-laying clouds. So no, we didn't get the moonlight that we normally get, which is fantastic because it just provides so much visibility.
Uh-huh.
So we didn't have that. And depth perception is interesting. When I'm looking at these two boats in the distance, and one looks much closer, and it turns out it's 5 nautical miles away. And it's like, oh well, it's 900 feet long. Of course, it looks like it's closer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. In the middle of the night, 900-foot boat. It's like,
Is that after you had cleared that channel between the two islands, and they're on their way more?
No, that 900-footer, we saw that before that. After
that
we
was
cleared
before.
the channel, we had some more traffic. Then once we were clear of it, yeah, there was nothing until we arrived in the morning in Palma.
Okay. And what
so
you
far,
got there this morning in Palma? Is that right? Today?
Yeah, no. We got when you're up all night sailing. So no, we got here yesterday morning.
Oh.
We cleaned the boat, and it's funny. We really didn't have much to eat, and we're doing a different crew rotation. The crew wanted to. David and Jorge came up with this rotation during the night, only 2-hour shifts, and then we switched to 4-hour shifts, and they thought it would be easier on them. And I'm amenable to whatever rotations they want. But
Sure.
what ended up happening was when we arrived in Palma, I don't know if the last time that I ate, and I wanted a cup of coffee and a beer. So we went
Coffee
to
and a
restaurant.
beer. That's an odd combination.
I had the coffee first, of course. That was my breakfast. Then I had a beer and then some other food. So I think I had breakfast and lunch and dinner all in one meal, and then cocktails.
So I got a picture here. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's taken inside of, I guess, the building right there at the marina. That has a glass front view. It looks like it might be a combination restaurant, sort of a setup. I can't quite tell. That
If it's got,
it looks out right on the marina.
oh yeah, so
Is
we're staying at a yacht club,
uh-huh.
and it's the most beautiful yacht club I've seen. It's
Okay, that's an
huge. And
interior picture of that yacht club then, I
yeah,
suppose, that
so
somebody
yacht club
posted.
has, yep, yacht club has a restaurant, and it's all glass facing the marina. It's fantastic,
Oh, this is
and
it.
that's where,
It's it. That must be it, this picture.
that's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
It looks like the
Yeah.
boat's right in front of it, is it? Are you parked right in front? Are you berthed
Oh,
right in
no,
front?
no, no, it's actually quite a walk to get
Oh,
to
okay.
that. So
Okay.
those boats in front, and there's some really amazing boats out here. Some beautiful, beautiful wooden boats.
Uh-huh.
A tremendous amount of, I mean, and there's a lot of people working on their boats here. There's just a lot of activity, much more than I've seen in other marinas. It might
Is
be the
that
weather too,
because of the
because
weather or time of the year? What do you attribute that to?
I got to say it's the weather, yeah, because when we were in La Rochelle, which is the marina we were in, has 6,000 boats.
Uh-huh.
We rarely saw anyone on boats because it was,
Cold.
it was 90 degrees when we were there first. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, they're now out shores polishing their bright work for sure.
So, how did that little biking tour of Palma go? What was that like? I got a picture of Palma, by the way. Somebody posted a picture. It's a view across the bay. It would be,
Yeah,
I guess, very much west of you, where the marina is. It's over on the
uh-huh.
other, kind of over on, it's taken from the other end of, looks like there's a very long beach area, very, very long.
Yeah.
And then
So
that
we,
marina is at the, I guess what would be the western end of that bay.
yeah,
Does that sound right?
it's a, yep, it's really interesting city. Um, there's this cathedral that we drove by. I believe it's the Santa Maria Cathedral, and
Uh-huh.
it's this huge Gothic um, building. It is just amazing. It's gigantic.
Are you getting any
I,
pictures of those kind of things, by the way?
tomorrow we're going to take more. We were on the Vespas just cruising around, and I, with the Vespas we can go up and down these really really small roads that they don't allow cars on because they're just too narrow.
Uh-huh.
And it's a good way to just get a feel for the town. When you're in a car, you just can't do that. But tomorrow we're actually going to be renting proper motorcycles, and there's a couple of people have told us there's this road that goes north and along the coast, and several people, a Spaniard and also a German, told us it's the most amazing road they've ever been on in their lives. So we'll see. I've ridden my motorcycle on the Pacific Coast Highway along the coast of California. It's a pretty dramatic coast.
Yeah.
We'll see how it compares. But we're going to do that tomorrow. And we'll have more pictures that we're going to post.
Okay.
But Palma again is it's a beautiful town. We really haven't had a lot of time yet to check it out, but there's some there's Spanish, there's Moorish, because the Moors were here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of different architecture in these buildings. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, when I was kind of tracking your route yesterday, hadn't seen any postings from you guys, but it looked like you were docked at the island. And I was kind of wondering, maybe you didn't have internet or phone service. Has that been a problem? It doesn't seem like it would be a problem as large of a place that
We did
is.
not until we got close to the island, and then we could post stuff with our phone.
Uh-huh.
We have a PEP wave on the boat, which is supposed to pick up cell service a lot further out than our phones can. But we bought a SIM card in France, and it turns out that the French don't work with the Spaniards. So anyway, we need to get a Spanish SIM card, or one that's
So,
reliable.
are these islands considered Spanish? Are they Spanish territory?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, they sure are.
Okay.
And Mallorca is the island we're on is the largest island, and Palma is, I guess you call it the capital.
Okay. So you're planning on staying there for a few more days? What's your plan?
Yeah, yeah, because we broke one of our halyards for our Jenniker, just the casing,
Uh-huh.
and so we got a new halyard that was delivered from France, so we picked that up. And when it broke, the sail came down onto um, the mast, and it cut a hole in the sail, so we have a sail maker that's repairing that. So we'll
Th-
probably be here at least till Monday.
You're getting that repaired there at Palma then? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. And they have, like I said, this place has so many services. They told me, hey, call this guy. And next thing I know, he shows up at the boat.
Uh-huh.
And we had another issue with, the captain's chair had this huge adjustment screw that was stainless steel into a stainless steel thread. And as you know, stainless on stainless is prone to galling. We had this galling. We couldn't adjust the chair. A guy comes out, heats it up, and
Yep.
works
Once
on
it
it.
galls, it's all done.
Yeah, yeah. And he came out, fixed it, and it was, yeah, great service. And then it's like, yeah, Mel will take care of it. And it's like, oh, well, great,
Okay.
fantastic. So,
So you're going to stay there a few more days
right, we'll
and explore the
probably,
island and then go on to
yep,
Barcelona from there. Is that kind of where you're headed?
that's right. So tomorrow we're going to check out a little bit more of the town. There's actually a museum we're going to check out, and take some pictures of some of these, especially of the cathedral, Santa Maria. I want to take some close pictures of that. Just absolutely stunning architecture.
Okay.
And then we'll get the motorcycles, and then we're going to go up that northern route. And
That could be a misnomer, John.
well,
Calling
how's
a
it a
Vespa
misnomer?
a motorcycle.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're going
No.
to get real
So
motorcycles.
yeah. So we got reserved two Ducatis and a proper motorcycle.
Oh,
And
okay.
and what was funny is I got so we have these three Vespas,
Uh-huh.
and it's in this town square where there's a road that goes. It's just like a big circle. And so, they were giving Jorge and Dave the rundown on how to operate a Vespa. And they'd already given me the rundown, so it's like I just wanted to check it out. I'd never been on a Vespa, so I get it going and I make a quick circle. Came back and the guy came out. And he's like, "Hey, this is not MotoGP. This is not like a motorcycle." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I wasn't dropping a knee or anything." It's like,
Oh my goodness, that's funny,
yeah.
John.
So anyway, we're gonna take the Ducatis tomorrow
Okay.
because it's much we're gonna be on roads that are gonna have speed limits that are gonna be much higher than what we'd be comfortable in the Vespa.
I see.
We were actually on the highway today for a while because Dave just we were following Dave, and Dave took us to some town that was it wasn't very pretty. I was like, "What are we doing here, Dave?" It's like, "Oh, I want to get some authentic food." And we're driving around this town, and this is the weirdest thing.
So what, he ordered a
There are like
hamburger like you did the last time?
no, worse. There's like pizza joints everywhere.
Oh my God.
So we stopped at a stoplight, and I said, "Dave, you stop at a pizza joint. I'm leaving." Yeah, we ended up going back to Palma. We found a place that made paella.
Oh,
And
I
as you,
thought I saw somebody posted a picture of some food that looked like paella, possibly.
that's right. And so one of them was, I don't know if you recall, but when we were competing in the paella festival, there was one paella they made that was black, and they used
I
squid
do.
ink.
I do remember
So, yeah,
that.
right. So that was the best paella of the three that we had. It was really good. Now, I don't remember what the meat was, but I'm sure it wasn't squid because I remember we had that whole entire squid that you kind of fried up, and it ended up turning into like a thimble full of meat.
Yeah.
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 So it was some other kind of meat, and plus it tasted slightly fishy, which was in a good way, kind of oily. It was delicious.
Uh-huh.
So we want to find another place that the thing is there was no chocolat in their paella because it was it was already made and it was presented in these other dishes. We're looking for a place next that has paella, more traditional.
Something more authentic
pan.
that's gone through the
Right.
lengthy cooking process that it takes to get the soccerot on the bottom.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I
So
think these
we're
quick serve paellas, you can't achieve that.
right. The flavors were great, but
Yeah.
if it were to enter a contest like the one that we entered, they would have failed like we did.
Uh, oh, that's a detail, John. That's a detail.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, looks like it's not going to be that terribly far over to Barcelona, maybe 150 miles or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. And that's about a day sail, so that's
Okay.
not going to be a big deal. We're going to head over there. We plan on spending a little more time in Barcelona because they have something like 26 museums.
Yeah.
They have. I want to see the Gaudi Museum or Gaudi. Um, there's a number of other places that we want to go, and well, there's a few
But it
surprises for
sounds
some
like
other
where you
people.
are, though, is a pretty fun place because you don't know much about it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yes.
you got a
Absolutely.
lot of exploring to do there, which sound like a lot of good sites.
Yeah. Right. Right. And it turns out a German friend of ours was telling us this is a huge place for the summertime. Just a lot of tourists.
Uh-huh.
So now is a great time for us because we don't like to be around, a bunch of tourists. So it's mostly locals.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the people that are working on the boats they're just people who live here. Like the guy who came out and worked on our boat, he's a German guy. He's been here for 20 years. He loves it. Um, yeah.
Does he live there,
So,
or is he just?
yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, he lives
yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely. And tomorrow I'm looking forward to going around this, maybe not around the entire island, but go to some of the smaller villages,
Uh-huh.
and checking out the sites there and the locals.
Yeah, just my reading of those islands in the Med, it sounds like there's a lot of villages that are kind of back out of the way that really
Yeah.
offer kind of the most interesting places in the
Yep.
Med.
Right. And that's kind of what we're looking for. So, um, we'll like I said, we'll see some of the sites here in town, but really want to go check out, some of the out of the way places that most people maybe don't want to see or
Well,
don't get to.
well, John, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to watch what you guys post, and maybe we'll
Yeah.
do another one before you leave there, or just as
Okay.
you're leaving, something and kind of bring people up to date.
Yeah.
Show
Yeah.
some of those pictures and stuff, and talk about what you saw while it's fresh on your mind.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be great.
And if we don't do that, otherwise, I would catch you again once you get to Barcelona, I think.
Right. That would be the next time we have good service.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think this is probably enough, unless you want to add something else.
No. That's it. That's it. We can talk some more sailing stuff later, but
Okay.
yeah. Let's,
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
just hang loose. I'm going to fade us out.